Hey guys, Coach Josh here. So I got into an interesting discussion with the 5:30 a.m. class today about the workout that we have programmed today. So I thought it would be beneficial if one of the things our coaches are going to try to be a little bit better about is making sure that you guys always understand the intent of the workout, and so that you know how to, so you can be properly educated to know what the best scaling option would be for you. And it's still going to be a conversation between you and a coach, but we want to make sure that you're a little bit more educated so you understand what our goal is when we program a workout. So I'm going to give you the workout for today, and then I'm going to break down what I just did. I just finished the workout. That's why I'm still breathing a little hard and have amazing looking hair. So the workout for today is 5 rounds for time, 400 meter run, 10 power snatch. The top weight that we're going to use on this today would be 115 for the gentlemen, 75 for the gals. So what I mean by top weight is that doesn't mean that's the expected weight. It just means that's as high as we'll go today in the workout. I just hit this with 115. I would have been happy to do it with 95. So I'm going to break down the workout. The intent of this workout is to be less than 20 minutes of work. So the goal here is to not be going heavier than 20 minutes. All of our members today at the 5:30 a.m. class ranged between 12 minutes and about 17:30. So everybody stayed within that range. That means that everybody scaled correctly for this workout. So I just did this workout. My time was 13:56. So my goal was to keep 2-minute and 30-second rounds. I did not do that. If I would have kept 2-minute and 30-second rounds, I would have been at a 12.5-minute time. So I was almost 90 seconds off, and I'm going to explain how this works. So what I talked to the morning class about was making sure that these 400-meter runs, the way that we're determining this 400-meter run is that we really don't want this 400 to get much slower than about a 2:15 pace on that. Now, I will tell you that this is not a 2:15 pace. They probably our morning crew probably kept, at least in the first couple, they actually slowed down a little bit, which was important for them. I'll show you how I didn't do a good job of that. But they slowed down, and so they went at about a 2:30 pace, at least on their first couple. I will tell you, some athletes, it's hard because once you start slow, it's hard to speed up. Other athletes have a great job of what we call the kick, and so they can kick it in later. I don't know, I'm kind of a tweener on that. If it's just a run, I might be able to kick it in. But on a workout like this, I struggle to speed up. So I'm going to break down my rounds, and then hopefully this will help you. So round 1, I ran a 135 400. I went 5 and 5 on my snatches, and I finished the round in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So I actually had 10 seconds to rest. I actually didn't start my snatches until 1:45 on the clock. So I rested 10 seconds here as well before I picked up the bar. So I had an additional 20 seconds on this workout that I just rested in, or on this round that I just rested in. So I started my next round at 2:30, okay? So at 2:30 on the clock, I started my next 400. I ran that 400 in a 1:45. So at that point, I ran 10 seconds slower. I started it at a 1:40, or I ran it at a 1:45 on that pace, and then I had to start my snatches immediately. I went 5 and 5, and I skated in at about 2:27. So I had 3 seconds to basically go from my bar to the door, and I was pretty close to the door. So I started my next round at the 5-minute mark. Now here's where I sucked, okay? So I went 2 solid rounds of under 2:30, or at my pace of 2:30, to be on pace for my 12:30 on the workout. When I hit my 5-minute mark, my next 400 was a 2:02. I fell off 17 seconds on my 400, and I fell off almost a full 30 seconds from my first 400. I had to go 1 in drops on these, I think I went. Yeah, I did. I went 1 in drops. So I just went 1 and drop, okay? That's what that means. I did a 3:20 on this round here. So that means my overall time at this point, I was at 8:20 on the clock, and I was done at trying to get my 12:30 on the workout because I had fallen off almost a full minute, or really a full minute, from my first round time. So I went a 3:20 on this, 8:20 on the clock. So then basically I ran right into my 400. Now I'm going to show you an example of this, a little bit of like a theory that I've kind of come up with as I've watched people do workouts. I've watched myself, I've watched a lot of people do workouts, and I've analyzed times on rounds. So my next round, I started at 8:20. I actually stayed consistent now. So at 8:20, I ran another 400, and I did that right at 2 minutes. So I stayed 2:02 to 2 minutes, so I actually came down. I went a 1 and drop again, but this time my 1 and drop got me out in a minute there. So in a minute's time, my 1 and drop took me, it was only a 3-minute round, and then I came out at 11:20. Okay, I think I might have finished that at like 11:17 by the time I hit the round. So maybe this was a 2:57 round. And then I came out the door again at 11:20. So at 11:20, I started my 5th round now. I ran my next 400. Now you're thinking, okay, like this is all you got, but now you're probably tired. I did run this 400 in a 1:56. So I actually got a little bit faster. I sub-paced my next round. I went 10 unbroken here because I had saved myself a little bit here. This was hard, but I could do it. I finished that round and I got that done in a minute as well. So that was 11:20, I think. Let's see, 11:20. I went, that got me to, 13:16. I finished this whole round at 13:56 for my overall time. So whatever that was, my 10 unbroken took me, if this was 13:16, took me 40 seconds to do my 10 unbroken. So 156 plus 40, so that was a 236, right? Yeah, 236 for that round, okay? So what you see here is I went fast, okay? Here's the cool thing. So I went a 220, a 227, and a 236. These 2 rounds are what got me out of my pace. Because this round here really was only, 6 seconds off my 230 pace. So to be honest, I wasn't far off. And look what I ran on my 400. I ran a 156, and my 10 unbroken here, I went 40 seconds on that. Now, I went 5 and 5 here, and this honestly took me about 40 to 45 seconds anyways. Okay? This also took me 40 to 45 seconds. Okay? Because here's the deal. If I came in at a 135, rested at a 145, I still came out. That actually only took me 35 seconds to do 5 and 5. 10 unbroken took me 40 seconds there by the time I rested. And then my 5 and 5 here, if I went at 145, that took me less than 45 seconds here because I came out at a 227. So the reality is I didn't have to go 10 unbroken. Okay? I could have stuck to 5 and 5. Heck, that only took me a minute there. But the reality is right here, say these rounds are more like a 145. Okay, and this round is really a 145, and this round's a 145, okay? Now my time, the change on that, if I just kept all of my things here, this was about a minute 20. This was about a minute here, okay? If I just went and added these up and went 45 seconds there, 45 seconds there, 120, 1 minute, and 40 seconds there, okay? So that's 3 minutes there, 3:45, that's 4 minutes and 30 seconds of snatches, plus my 145, so this would be 2 minutes, that's 3:30, that's 7, 8:45, 45 there, so that's 12. That's still a 13:15 if I just would have ran consistent 400s. I told this to the morning crew, and I told them, I said, here's the deal. Your first 400s could feel slow. Heck, I could have ran a 150. If I would have ran a 150, maybe I could have stuck to this 45-second. Again, remember, I went 120 in 1 minute on my 1 and drops here. If I shave those down to 45-second rounds, and those turn into 45-second rounds, even if I'm going 5 and 5, which is totally doable at the weight I was supposed to be doing. Now I take that down another 15 seconds, so that's 13. and then another almost 35. Now I'm at 12, right? So let's see, 45 minus the 120, so that's 135. So minus 40 seconds, yeah, so I'm sitting at like 12:35 there. There's my time, okay? I know this is a lot of numbers, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is, number one, intent of the workout. Volume or load doesn't always have to be higher than intensity. If I just keep my intensity up, I get a great workout in, okay? So we don't want to sacrifice our intensity for the load that we're moving or because we're running too far. So we actually programmed a scaled option, and we call it scale because it's just another option. I know you guys think that's like a bad word sometimes. Some of you folks that want to go RX all the time and are upset that you have to go scaled, call it option 2. I don't care what you call it, but in all honesty, for folks that are struggling with that 400-meter run, we had them do a 200-meter run, okay? Now that could break down to maybe your first 2 rounds you do 400s and then the next 3 you do 200s because your time's falling off, okay? Because it's going to lose the intent. If you do 400-meter runs the whole time and you come in at 22 minutes on the workout, that's not the intent of the workout. The other thing that we want is your snatches. Your snatches, we told the rule today is like, I want you to pick a weight for this workout that you could go 10 unbroken on, touch and go from the floor. So what that means is the folks that are doing the power snatch here, if I can do 115, I could do 115, 10 unbroken. Obviously, I did it down here in the middle of the workout, but that doesn't mean you have to do it in the workout. We just want you to choose a weight that you could cycle that quickly, because the load of the snatch shouldn't take away from the intent of the workout. The intent of the workout is probably a 3-minute round. Okay, so if I'm running a 3-minute round or a 3:15 round, that keeps me in this range. This is more like that 2-minute and 30-second round or 2-minute and sub 2-minute. We had a couple people doing the 200s with that time, and that's okay. We talked at the end. They could have probably bumped up their weight on the snatches, or they could have kind of done half and half 400s, half 200s. Probably all 5 400s would have put them more past this 17:30 mark. So the reality is, guys, we want you just to try to continue to understand how pacing works in a workout and how intent is important. We want intensity to outweigh volume a lot of the time. So that's what we did here. Hopefully this helped. I hope I didn't get too bogged down, but I think it's important that you really start to analyze what you do in your workouts. I talked with some of the folks after the workout today, and I told them, like, hey, I'm doing all these numbers in my head while I'm doing the workout, because that helps me strategize throughout my workout. Because when this happened here, when this 320 happened here, that let me know you better get your butt moving on the next 2 rounds, or you're going to turn this time into a 15 plus real quick, because you can't duplicate this time again down the road. And obviously I didn't. And what happened here is what happens a lot in a workout. Okay, it's kind of like a reverse bell curve, or if you want to call it a bell curve, depending on how you set it up. But if my time is here and that goes up and down, okay, I start out faster here, and then slowly as my workout goes, that peak of my middle round, this is my middle round right here, and this is like my high point, and then I know I can see the end, and then I come down and I level off again. And look what happened here. This was a 220, this was a 236, okay? This was my 320 right here. And so it really flowed into that bell curve action. So anyways, guys, hope this helped. A little bit of science behind your workout today. Let's go get them. Let's attack the workout. 5 rounds for time, 400-meter run, 10 power snatch. Pick the weight correctly. Pick your run distance correctly. Let's be intense today. Shake and bake. Ugh! This is the full shot of the board. I know I was a little close on the workout, or on the video. So here's the full shot of the board. Round breakdown, and then bell curve down there at the bottom left corner.